Hey everyone, Matt J. Doyle here with TAP Interviews and Team Easyway. I'm here with the amazing, the outstanding, the brilliant, the wonderful Tom Cataldo. Tom, welcome to TAP Interviews.
Oh, thank you so much. It's great to be here. Great to be here.
Absolutely, we're absolutely excited to have you on the show. And could you just tell us a little bit about your background, please?
Well, from the beginning, I started at age 5 making walkie-talkies for the Boston Police Department fire department, later for the police department, because they were losing people, firemen especially, because they couldn't tell from from the inside the building. The building was going to collapse on them, so they lost a lot of lives in a big fire back there. And so I don't know how it happened, but they came to me. I was making little crystal radios for people at that time just to make some money. This is the beginning of the Depression now, and so somebody found out, told the fire department. They ordered some. Uh, uh, Actually, walkie-talkies, pocket-sized walkie-talkies I made for them. The only walkie-talkies at the time were the big military units that they couldn't carry around in a fire, and they could actually have this thing in their pocket, be able to talk to the men outside to see, what's going on and all that, save lives. And then did that for 4 or 5 years and made some money at a time when we really had to make some money there. Tough
Yeah.
time. And and then I got into various other jobs, and I wound up because my mother was able to get a home outside the Italian ghetto we were living in downtown Boston. By the way, it's now a very upscale place. If you look
Mm.
at the what's called the Freedom Trail, very important part of the town. And I was born about a half a block from the Old North Church, if anybody's heard of that. uh, she moved us out to a town called Brighton. It was right across the road from MIT, and it was such a lucky thing that I was able to get a job at MIT. I had to leave high school a couple of years early and started working there at age 15, developing along with a couple other guys, the system that the Navy very desperately needed, a navigation system, which is called LORAN, which stands for Long Range Radio Navigation. As it turned out, it was one of the major reasons we won the Battle of the Atlantic, because up until that time, the Navy was using celestial navigation, and they could almost never see the stars, so that didn't work. And we were losing the ships that we were escorting. This gave the Germans all the freedom they needed to get out there and just sink these Liberty ships were carrying all the supplies and manpower over England. It was a very desperate time because the Germans had pretty much leveled the city of London. We couldn't even land in the south part of British Isles. We had to land up in Ireland and places like that. Um, and the LORAN system and MIT basically was the reason we won that Battle of the Atlantic. There's a lot of books been written about it. I've got a nice one here, written by a Brit called The Battle of the Atlantic. And basically, he says the same thing that uh, other people have said, that had we not won that battle, we'd be speaking German or Japanese now. It was a very important thing that we got into the war when we did. And up until that time, they were sinking 1/3 of our ships and more than a third of the ships we were supposed to be escorting. That's how desperate it was for almost 2 years. It took about a year and a half to 2 years to turn it all around, or it was sinking more of the U-boats than they were sinking of our ships. And but they knew what they were doing. The Germans were making a submarine, a U-boat, at the rate of one a week out of several facilities that were all bomb-proof, and they kept making them better all the time. And it was a difficult thing to turn it all around, but we did. And was never forget the speech I heard directly from Winston Churchill, one of the trips I made over there. where he thanked us for escorting most of the ships over that day, and it was a thrill. It was memorable
Wow.
to hear him.
How interesting. Well, luckily that battle was won by the sounds of it. So how does it feel to be a former U.S. Navy veteran?
Well, it was a very lucky thing that all that happened. But as you may or may not know, I've been legally blind all my life because I didn't do the right thing when I was a kid, preschool years, and that's why I set up the foundation to deal with that problem. But here's how bad it was. The Navy wanted me to come desperately. They had contacted the MIT lab. They needed somebody to show, needed someone who could show the Navy personnel how to use the system, the shipboard version of the LORAN system. When I tried to get into the Navy, I couldn't pass the eye test.
Gee.
It was funny because I had tried 3 times. I memorized the chart. That's how I got in. But
Oh my God, that's great.
kids can't do that sort of thing now, Matt. And the kids that wind up with this problem, it's an enormous problem. 1 out of 3 children, and I want to show you that this is not just something I decided was the right thing. Here's a proclamation I got from Mayor of Los Angeles that says, among other things, that the I don't know if you can see this where you are.
Yeah, just pull it over towards your face.
But
Yeah, that's better.
this is a great, just a great document. They did all their own research there, and Mayor Garcetti has a picture of him up here giving me the proclamation in front of a.
Yeah, put it a little bit closer to the camera, please, Tom.
Okay, hold it there.
Okay, yeah, and just move your fingers a little bit closer.
Okay.
All right, we see that, yeah.
Yeah, now, among other things, it says in there that 1 out of 3 children, and this is a federal government study, have this problem. It's called amblyopia, otherwise known as lazy eye. And only not lazy, it's blind eye after age 4 or 5, age 4 or 5, if it isn't detected and treated before that. And it's unbelievable and unforgivable. We let that happen to kids here. Millions of them every year. If you do the math on this, out of the 5 or so million people that start life here, 1/3 of them, 1/3 of them, 1.5 million kids every year go down the same road. Only they're not going to be as lucky as I was. They will not ever get hired by anybody. Who wants to hire? I mean, with a vision problem, nobody does. And so they wind up as 3rd-class citizens. Most of them wind up, in the things they shouldn't get into, like selling drugs or whatever. You go into special education, which is costing the country a fortune, and they wind up with things like autism. Believe it or not, in Sweden, where they mandated vision screening, preschool vision screening, they not only eliminated this leading cause of blindness, that's what this is, amblyopia, leading cause of blindness in the world. They've almost eliminated autism over there. How about that?
Wow, that's great.
It's and you would think, wouldn't you, that we would know this and do something about it here?
Yeah.
No, we haven't. It's embarrassing, and I'm very frustrated about it, to say the least. We're trying to make some headway now with our congressmen. They were nice enough to set up a meeting for us out here. Congressman 11 sent me a nice document here. Can you see this?
Yeah.
House of Representatives, and in it, they mention how it's
Pull it towards you a little bit. Pull it towards you. That's better. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Can see it now. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you that everybody's dying to know. How does it feel to be involved in a war?
Not good.
Not good. Is it scary?
I wasn't crazy about it because I was the gopher there with that. There were only three of us that started making that, just developing the LORAN system there, and I was the young one, so they made me do things like go out or in different parts of the world and help put up the antennas that were required for LORAN in places like the Aleutians and really South Africa, really South America, the Himalayas and places like that. We had to put them all over the world, and to get the right kind of fixes that we were getting on these LORAN systems. It was very accurate, and it really turned that war around.
Tell that story about the torpedo underneath the destroyer.
Oh,
that you were on.
What's that?
The destroyer that you were on, the torpedo that was underneath the destroyer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Grant reminded me of the thing that happened on one of the trips over there. You almost never had a clear day where you could, really see things. But one evening, it was nice and clear. It looked like a lake. I'm talking about the North Atlantic now. And but all of a sudden, the call went out, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. So we're all on the deck, and these were all destroyer escorts. And I was on the tail end of the ship where it hangs out over the ocean about 25, 30 feet. And we look out, and there's a torpedo coming at us.
Oh, God.
It was close enough so they couldn't turn the ship around fast enough. So we just sat there and watched it come at us.
God, how'd you avoid it?
It went underneath us.
Oh, God, how lucky is that?
Plus, it came about 20 feet, maybe less than that, 10 feet from the hull. If it been a little closer, I wouldn't be here talking to you about it.
No, you were very lucky to live. Wow, that's awesome, Tom. Well, I'd like to share better vision for children now with the audience. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to share the screen so they can see it.
Okay.
And I want to play the video as well. So let's just bring that up.
All right.
All right. So here you can see the statistics about loss of vision and prevention. So let's play that video.
This is without a doubt the biggest medical problem that is preventable, totally preventable. If you get there early enough, you screen the kids early enough, preferably at age 1 or 2, even before they're verbal. It's almost better when you get there because the brain is just beginning to develop visually.
Yes.
And believe it or not, there are 3 types of this thing called amblyopia. I have the most common form by far.
Okay.
Is, where the eyes have different focusing ability. The other 2 are where the eyes are not lined up properly. I'll tell you how crazy all this is. One of our kids had that problem. It's called strabismus, where the eyes don't line up. And it has to be, it can only be corrected by surgery on the muscles of the eye. Unfortunately, most kids never get there. As you've seen with the LA proclamation, very rare, very rare.
All right, let's play this video. It sounds like I hope they find out.
Matt, I want to mention the 3rd type, which is the worst of all, where there's a tumor on the eye, on the retina of the eye. This is fatal. By age 3 or 4, it's almost fatal, always.
Okay.
And here in this country, the death rate is about 86% of the kids that have that die. Overseas, they all die because they don't have the infrastructure. And it's really sad because, I meant to tell you, the type of amblyopia I've got, I'm going to tell you briefly, it doesn't require surgery. All it requires is you put a patch over the strong eye to make the weak eye work. Now, if you do that when a child is only 6 months old or a year old, it cures that problem. Again, this kit that we have now, which we provide free to the public through sponsors. This kit that costs a sponsor as little as $3.50, believe it or not,
Gee.
detects this problem and also solves that problem that I have. The problem where the eyes have different focusing ability. How? Well, you take the same patch that you use to detect the problem and you put on a strong eye. And when a child is only 6 months or a year old, it cures the problem in about 2 weeks.
Gee, that's amazing.
Yeah. If you wait until age 3 or 4, it takes months.
Okay, so you got to get it early. Let's play this video now without further ado.
Okay, go ahead.
Here, just give you a couple of statistics. The federal government, there are 3 of them. But here's one of them is that 1 out of 4 children, imagine this, in this country, and it's worse in most other countries. 1 out of 4 children, quoting word for word, start school with an undetected vision problem that will, not may, will affect their ability to read and learn. What's more important than that other than food? Now here's another couple of statistics. The same federal government, the United States government, come up with these numbers. They tested visually impaired children after they've gotten to the point where they're getting out of school, into the job market. The problem is they don't get out of school. They don't graduate. The dropout rate is more than double for visually impaired children than for normally sighted children. More than double. And the other grim statistic is that when they get into the job market, only 29% of the visually impaired children in the United States, that's a banana republic, are competitively employed. I'm using their words, competitively employed. 29%. The rest of them are getting some kind of dole from the government, or they're on disability or whatever. Horrible, horrible, horrible.
Wow. And there's some other videos on the site as well. So you just need to go to bettervisionforchildren.org, right, Tom?
Right.
Yeah, that's a powerful video. And there are, as I said, there are other videos on there as well. I suggest you all go to that website, check it out, and watch those videos. And that one was very good, like very short, to the point, and concise. So good job, Tom.
Matt, before I leave the scene here, I would like to just, if you don't mind, offer to get a home vision test kit. I'm getting a patent on it now. There's nothing like it out there. It enables the parents for the first time ever to check the vision of their children professionally at home. And to do exactly what an ophthalmologist, not an optometrist, an ophthalmologist does, which is to check one eye against the other eye. If there's a difference, there's a problem, which could be fatal and almost always results in the child being legally blind, like I've been all my life.
Gee.
The right thing when I was a kid. And that means no driver's licenses anymore. The DMVs are getting wise to the fact that amblyopia is you have no depth perception when you have one eye. Think about it. I've been able to get driver's licenses all my life. Is that crazy? You know, I did the same thing I did to get in the Navy. I memorized a chart, but you can't do that anymore. They don't use charts like that anymore.
Yeah.
And so it's just going to relegate all these children don't pass to third-class citizens, where they're on the dole or worse.
Gee, and you know, it's an eye opener, that's for sure, to say the least. So
So 35 years ago, Matt, I set up a foundation. I should have retired. I had a lot of money that I made, you know, with the medical alert system, and which I invented, and I set up this foundation with my wife and a very famous pediatric ophthalmologist as co-founders. And we even started in Mexico because I was living part-time down there. And then a year later, we started in San Diego. I was lucky enough to get some serious money out of the Walmart Foundation. And the reason we kept screening kids there for 30 years, almost 500,000 of them over the in all the Walmart stores in that part of the country was because we kept bringing business into the stores.
Mm.
And there's a letter on the website from one of the optometrists. They were all optometrists there at Walmart's, where he says, "Oh my God, you doubled my business when you came in here. You brought the media in here." He doesn't say it, but we brought the mayor of San Diego in there also. We brought a congressman in there for photo ops. They loved it. And now we're going back into Walmart with the home vision test kits, because it's for the same amount of money we get from anywhere. We can have thousands of children screened at home by their parents, with the sponsors giving out the kits free of charge, always free to the public. It's a major thing. And I would like to make the offer here right now to, let's say for the first 20 people that call you, we'll arrange to get them a free kit. It might take a little time to do it if you're out in Arizona or someplace back east, because we have to get a sponsor in the area to do it. But we'll do it. If you're in Southern California, we can do it pretty fast.
Okay,
And,
great. So, yeah, just give me a call on 310-349-9356, and Tom and I will arrange for you to have the kit. We'll send it out to you. The first 20 people that call me again on 310-349-9356. Very generous of you, Tom. I appreciate that. And,
I might mention that we'd also like to get some sponsors, more sponsors. I've got about 15 of them out here in Southern California, all kinds of businesses, small businesses, restaurants and places like that. But certainly anybody listening to this out in Chicago or some other place where we don't have representation, we'd like to get a sponsor business that would get the kits from us at this ridiculous price and give them out free to the public. They'll always get more business as a result of doing that, always.
Awesome, Tom. That's fantastic. And I just wanted to take a quick minute to thank our sponsors: EasyWayNetwork.com, BETV, EasyWay Wall of Fame, EasyWayWall.com, EasyWay TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV, and of course EasyWay.tv. Also, Brain Tap and Keeping Up with Kimberly. Keeping Up with Kim, I beg your pardon, and Keeping It Real with Kim. Thank you guys for your sponsorship. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to mention about an event tonight in Santa Monica. It's going to be from 5 o'clock till 10 p.m., 5 p.m. till 10 p.m. at the Broadway studio. It's a Grammy Awards viewing party. There'll be red carpet. I'll be doing tap interviews. There'll be other media there, influencers, celebrities, people from all walks of life. So it's a good opportunity to walk the carpet, get exposure, and also network. So on a final note, Tom, what are your plans for the future?
Well, I'd like to stick around for another couple of years and see this, this whole thing go
I believe like 20, right?
Pardon?
Yeah, at least another 20 years, right?
Oh,
at least another 20 years.
Yeah, would you please guarantee that for me? I'll
pray for that.
In a couple of months, I'll be 97. So.
Wow, that means you'll be living till. That means you'll be 120 then.
Right.
That's awesome. You still look awesome for your age.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for coming on the show today, Tom. We really appreciate it. We wish you the best. It was very informative and interesting, and you answered the questions that we're all wanted to know. And hopefully we'll see you at another event and we can do another interview. And we'd always love to have you back on Tap Interviews or on some of our other projects. We have another TV show, and we're doing a short film as well. And then we're going to be doing some feature films. So keep in touch and keep doing it the easy way.
Okay. Do you mind if I give people my phone number here?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, anybody has any questions at all, please go on the website. There's a lot of stuff on that website that everybody should see if they have preschoolers or that are going to have children. And my number here, and I'm happy to get calls from anybody that's interested, is 949-496-4720. 949-496-4720. Please call me if you have any questions at all. And Matt, thank you so much for getting me on here.
You're welcome, Tom. It was absolutely brilliant. I felt a great energy. Everybody loved you. You did great. And you're welcome on any of our productions in the future. We wish you good health and prosperity, and we'll see you on the next one.
Right. Hope to see you soon there. Thanks again, Matt.
All right. Thanks, Tom.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everybody.